Just let me hear some of that rock and roll music. Any old way you choose it. Got a backbeat.
That's right, we're road tripping with Steve and Marianne, and today it's Waltz Day, as in 123, 123, New Year's Eve 2023. Yeah, I know, all right, that's a bad one. Jack Benny would say, well, we started off the day with the Horseless Carriage Drive, running from Arcadia up around Pasadena. A really neat collection of cars to see in the morning as they got ready to set out. A lot of early brass stuff before World War I, no less. I mean, that's pretty cool. A real variety of Model Ts, Model As, of course, but Lincolns, Cadillacs, Rolls Royce, Bentley, even a Duesenberg straight 8 Speedster. Then we headed on up to do the cruise down Colorado Boulevard. Now, this is an ancient tradition for me because I grew up in Pasadena, and boy, out of high school, it was the thing to cruise Colorado on New Year's Eve before the parade. Pasadena police didn't shut the street down until like midnight. So we'd cruise up and down, probably cost, $1.50 worth of gas. It was expensive. But the streets were jammed and all the hot rodders uncorked their cars, so everything was real loud and the freezing people at the sides. Now it's a little more sedate perhaps, but it's still a lot of fun. As you can see us cruising here in the Yellow Submarine, and we're following Chuck and Tina in their new edition, Froggy Green Citron Mohari. Now, if you don't know what a Mohari is, it's a weird little thing. It's built on the chassis of a deux chevaux, but that body is ABS plastic of all things. Yeah, so it's a vacuum form car if you want. They don't go real fast. They wobble around like crazy like a deux chevaux does, but they're a fun little thing. So let's continue here on our cruise. We're going by what used to be on the right, J.W. Robinson's, one of the classiest department stores in all of Southern California and certainly in Pasadena. And we'll continue along. There's a lot of stop and go, so kind of get ready for a half hour of stop and go traffic, but with some fairly cool cars in it.
Talking on the phone is not my speed. Don't send me no letter cause I can't read. Don't be long cause I be gone. We gon' rock and roll long night long cause I'm ready. I'm willing and I'm able to rock and roll all night. I'm ready. I'm willing and I'm able to rock and roll all night. Come on, pretty baby. We're gonna rock, we're gonna roll until tomorrow night. Talking on the phone is not my speed. Don't send me no letter cause I can't read. Don't be long cause I'll be gone. We gon' rock and roll long and long cause I'm ready.
I've got a long history with the Rose Parade. My dad, for 20, 30 years, was a member of the Tournament of Roses. That's those people who are in white suits that do all the work during the parade and before the parade and after the parade. And New Year's Day was a pretty hectic time for him, as he had to be up at dark 30 to do whatever job he was doing for the parade. And later on, in the 70s, I was a bus driver for good old Embry buses, and we had the contract with most of the bands that played in the parade. And that was pretty cool. Saw a lot of the bands, a lot of the people involved, and we just had this great time with the whole thing. One of the best was, of course, the massed pipes and drums of Winnipeg, Canada. But we'd also have to be up at dark 30 to bring the bands to the parade, and then we'd drive up to the end of the parade and sit there and wait for them. With the mass pipes and drums, I was really honored because one of the guys in that band was 91 years old and had played the bagpipes at the Battle of the Somme in World War I. That was pretty impressive. And yeah, he hiked the entire parade route, which is what, over 5 miles, the longest parade in the country. And he made it the entire way while high school kids were all dropping out and getting tired and they couldn't go any further. Amazing the stamina of the guy.
As I rolled out to Galway town one day for recreation.
Having a little glitch with the music, but we'll get back to our old rock and roll here stuff. That's better for this cruising, isn't it? We just passed Roman's Bookstore, one of the premier independent bookstores in the whole country, and a Pasadena institution since what? I would guess the 20s. So it's a pretty important place. Good thing my bus driver training kicks in because all the buses we drove were stick shifts. So I developed a pretty strong left leg to operate the clutch and slow traffic. And well, I needed it with the old Citroen. It does have kind of a heavy clutch. Starting to see the parade of other cars going by that had already made it up, or maybe they had started up at the west end of Colorado there. Lots of VWs, guys on motorcycles, hot rods, low riders, you name it, it's hip to cruise Colorado.
P-A-C-A-T-I-O-N in the summer sun. Put away the books, we're out of school. The weather's warm, but we'll play it cool. We're on vacation, having lots of fun. P-A-C-A-T-I-O-N in the summer sun. We're gonna grab a bite at the pizza stand, or write love letters in the sand. We're on vacation, and the world is ours. P-A-C-A-T-I-O-N under summer stars. Yeah, we'll hold it on to luck to a job and moving, and never looking for show. We're gonna hug and kiss just like this, and I can't wait to go. We're gonna mash potato to a jukebox too. A pot of corn, eat an
Last year it was kind of funny. Some clown in a souped up BMW had uncorked his car and was doing burnouts and revving his engine, especially in all the tall buildings, not quite understanding that Colorado Boulevard at this time of year is the most patrolled section of road probably in the country. And it didn't take too long for the cops to be all over this guy. I'm pretty sure they at least impounded his car when they took him away. They were not happy with him. With any luck, maybe they even crushed it for exhibition of speed and unmodel or illegal modifications. That would have been kind of funny.
You broke my wheel, what a thrill. Goodness gracious, great balls of fire. I let you love what I thought it was funny. You came along and woo, now honey, I've changed my mind. This love is fine. It's just great balls of fire. Kisses, baby. Feels good. Oh, baby. Well, love you like I love a should. You're fine, so kind. Got to tell this world that you're mine. That you my nails down and I twitch on my thumb. I'm real nervous, but it sure is fun. Come on, baby, it drives me crazy. It's just great balls of fire. Kisses me, baby. Ooh, feels good. Hold me, baby. Well, love you like I love you should. You're fine, so kind. Got to tell this world that you're mine. That you're mine. I quit on my thumb. Real nervous, somebody show is fun. Come on, baby. Drive me crazy. Mr. Rank, just great balls of fire. Oh, Karen, don't let it steal your heart away. I'm gonna learn to dance if you take me all night and day. Climb into my machine so we can cruise on.
Back in the day, we only had 3 AM radio stations that played rock and roll music. There was KFWB, KHJ, and KRLA. And you'd have the 3 center buttons of your radio fixed to dial those in. And if a song came up you didn't like, you punched a button to another station and back and forth. Some guys I know were real button pushers. But that's what we had back then. And it was all rock and roll like what we're got here in the background. None of that rap, none of that hip hop stuff. Just the good music.
Don't let them steal your heart away. I'm gonna learn to dance if it takes me all night and day.
Coming up here on the right, see the old Pasadena Post Office. Magnificent building. Down the street to the right be the Pasadena City Hall. And oh look, that looks like what my mom would call Johnny Law. A couple of motor officers getting in to see what who they might be able to catch doing things they shouldn't do. Now notice, right in front of them, I'm not jumping into that intersection and stopping until I know I've got room. Now I know I got a little room there, so I'm a good boy. The fun thing was pretty much when you're cruising back in the day on Colorado, everybody had their windows down, their radios cranked up, usually to just one of the stations. So it just echoed from everybody's car. It was kind of a cool thing. Okay, don't let it steal your heart away.
Yo no soy marinero, yo no soy marinero, soy capitán, soy capitán. Bamba, bamba, para bailar la bamba, para bailar la bamba, una poca de gracia, una poca de gracia, ya arriba y arriba.
For this cruise, of course, we had the CD, naturally, the Beatles' Yellow Submarine album, blasting out, entertaining all the people who were going to freeze their tuchuses off all night long, ready to watch this parade. The guy in the white truck thinks he's going to merge in because things narrow down. Nobody merges in front of a McCarthy during the Rose Parade time. Believe me, it doesn't happen. I learned from the old man, and he was the best.
Jim Daddy to the rescue. Jim Daddy to the rescue. Jim Daddy to the rescue. Go Jim Daddy. Go Jim Daddy. Jim Daddy on a mountain top. 30,000 feet drop. Spider lady on a runaway horse. Aha, that's right, of course. Jim Daddy to the rescue. Go Jim Daddy. Go Jim Daddy. Jim Daddy met a girl named Sue. She was feeling kind of blue. Jim Daddy is the kind of guy never liked to see a little girl cry. Jim Daddy to the rescue. Go Jim Daddy. Go Jim Daddy. Jim Daddy to the rescue. Jim Daddy to the rescue. Jim Daddy to the rescue. Go Jim Daddy. Go! Jim Danny in a submarine got a message from a mermaid queen. She was hanging from a fishing line. Jim Danny didn't waste no time. Jim Danny to the rescue. Go Jim Danny. Go Jim Danny. Jim Danny wanted to go to Maine. Got a ticket on a DC plane. Jim Danny didn't need no suit. He was hip for hand ready to boot. Jim Danny to the rescue. Go Jim Danny. Go Jim Danny. Go, go, go. Jim Danny. Go, go, go. Jim Danny. Go, go, go. Jim Danny. Go on, Jim Danny. Jim Danny, go. Well, that'll be the day when you say goodbye. Yes, that'll be the day when you make me cry. You say you're gonna leave, you know it's a lie, 'cause that'll be the day when I die. Well, you give me all your loving and your loving, all your hugs and kisses and your money too.
We're now getting into what they now call Old Town Pasadena. Again, growing up, this was the grubby rundown section of Pasadena, where all the really old cruddy buildings were. It always cracks me up that up ahead on the right, one of these fancy, snooty buildings, businesses, was the barber college where I get my hair cut for 50 cents by guys who were learning how to cut hair. I'd sit out at the bus stop waiting for my mom to pick me up, And there'd be the Ritz Hotel where the winos stayed, and a bunch of other grubby places. Old Town really got transformed in the 80s, the later 80s. And one of the best places, of course, was up Raymond Avenue, a little place called the Loch Ness Monster Pub. And I managed to probably drink my way through most of the 70s in that place. It was a wonderful place to go.
So if we ever part, then I'll leave you. You sit and hold me and you tell me boldly that someday, well, I'll be blue. Well, that'll be the day when you say goodbye. Yes, that'll be the day when you make me cry. You say you're gonna leave, you know it's a lie, 'cause that'll be the day when I die. Well, that'll be the day.
Not only do we have narrowing down again to one lane in each direction, but Pasadena put in those scramble crossings, the ones that they stop both directions of traffic and people can cross the street diagonally. It's easier for the pedestrians, that's for sure, but boy, when that traffic is heavy, not a lot of fun.
Long about a Saturday night, yeah. Rubbed up, just relaxing in the tub, thinking everything was alright. Well, I stepped out the tub and put my feet on the floor. I wrapped the towel around me and I opened the door. And in a splish splash, I jumped back in the bath. Well, how was I to know there was a party going on? There was a splishing and a splash, and reeling with the feel, and moving and a groove, and rocking and a rolling. Yeah!
Like I said, nobody merges in front of a McCarthy. For an interesting historical note here, the building on the left, pawn shop that's been there for as long as I can remember. The building has been restored and was one of the very, very few buildings designed by the famous Pasadena architects Green and Green. They did all those wonderful craftsman buildings like the Gamble House, the Blacker House. Marvelous old buildings, beautiful homes. And this was one of their few commercial efforts. You see how this scramble crossing works now as people walk through the middle of the intersection. It took a while for people to get used to it, but it works pretty well.
There was a rolling and a stroll, moving with the groove, and a splish and splash. Yeah, splishing and a splash. One time I was splishing and a splash. Woo! I was moving and a grooving. Yeah, I was splishing and a splash.
Well, bless my soul, what's wrong with me? I'm itching like a man on a fuzzy tree. My friends say I'm acting wild as a bug. I'm in love. I'm all shook up. Yeah.
Another building on the right used to be the Free Press Bookstore, the place for hippie literature. Kind of a crazy place back in the day.
I'm all shook up. Yeah. Well, please don't ask me what's on my mind. I'm a little mixed up, but I feel fine when I'm near the girl that I love best. My heart beats so it scares me to death when she touches my hand. Oh, what a chill I got. Her lips are like a volcano that's hot. I'm proud to say that she's my buttercup. I'm in love. I'm all shook up. Yeah. My tongue gets tied when I try to speak. My inside shake like a leaf on a tree.
There's only one kid.
We're going to come up here and finally pass Chuck and Tina. So when we get there, make sure to wave hello to them.
I'm proud to say that she's my buttercup. I'm in love. I'm all shook up. Yeah.
Here we go.
Hey,
hi there.
I'm all shook up.
They're really great people. They own Auto Books Bookstore over in Burbank. So if you want any automotive books, stop over there and see what you can find.
We just touched ground on an international runway. Jet propelled back home from overseas to the USA. New York, Los Angeles, oh how I yearn for you. Detroit, Chicago, Chattanooga, Baton Rouge. Let alone just to be at my home back in old St. Louis. Did I miss the skyscrapers? Did I miss the long freeway? From the coast of California to the shores of the Delaware Bay. You can bet your life I did till I got back in the USA.
We're also coming up again on the left on a couple of famous places. First, this used to be the Peter Satori car dealership. That's where I bought the Blue Meanie. One of the buildings was particularly famous was the Murphy Coach Works. Murphy Bodies did a lot of the work for Duesenbergs, Packards, Lincolns. Back then, you turned your chassis over to a coach builder. Also on the right is the Norton Simon Art Museum, fantastic art museum. You can see here we're at ground zero for the parade. Now we're about to get on the Suicide Bridge, and somehow I let that guy get in front of me. Well, here we are cruising on Colorado Bridge, and about time to say goodbye. See some of these iconic views of Pasadena. Happy New Year to you, and remember, you can get all our stuff at www.mccarthypicks.com. Happy New Year.